Hello, everybody.
Hey guys, happy Wednesday. How are you?
Welcome back to Dustin and Michelle Resell. We're so happy to be with you once again. Tonight we're going to be talking about how to spot fake fragrances or authenticate real designer fragrances.
Yes.
But first, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We've literally been fighting a heck of a bug here for the last, it's been a week now.
Yeah, we both have been kind of under the weather.
Well, kind of is an understatement.
Yeah.
I mean, we usually charge through it.
Yeah.
But this time it was like, wow, we missed like 3 videos filming and stuff. So we're getting back to it here.
Yeah.
So happy.
Yeah, one more thing I just want to bring up, that Dustin and I are sending our love to the friends and families who are losing their homes and their lives in California. And it's on the forefront of our minds and prayers, and we're sending good energy, healing energy, and that it's very important for us to start the show out with.
Absolutely. Prayers to everybody there.
And all the firefighters and the firefighters' families, Yeah. So anyway, we're going to flip it over to a little happier conversation. Yeah. And we're going to get into figuring out if are you buying fake perfumes?
Yeah. I mean, okay. So there are some good questions you can ask yourself to find out if not. Now, if you're the person that is buying these designer fragrances, right? I think we're going to go over some top 5 sort of groups of questions to ask. So I think number 5 would be the source. Like, where are you getting these colognes, perfumes?
Right. Are you finding these at Goodwill over in the corner because somebody donated, 1 million of them? Or you find, I don't know, there's so many different ways. You see them at the mall, you see them everywhere, but how do you know? And I just want to say that the reason why we were inspired to do this is this show is because my son, who's 16, absolutely loves cologne. And I have so many bottles of cologne, and he's the best smelling kid in North America, I swear to you. And literally
he has a really awesome collection of colognes
and fragrances. And so before I hand delivered these, we decided to do this show for you. So I want me to jump into this one?
Yeah, sure. So speaking of source, now, right here, our first example is
this is a gift for my son Jake, who is in a very difficult program at school, and he's kicking booty. So I went ahead and I went to the Louis Vuitton website and I purchased this fragrance, and this arrived. Go ahead, baby. You talk a little bit about the boxes. It arrived.
It did. Okay.
Yes, in a nonchalant. It had no name on the front of it.
Okay.
So nobody could steal it.
Yeah, nobody's like, okay, hey, look, some really expensive cologne or something. So that is very nice. Now, these are made of really high quality materials, and we're going to get into the packaging a little bit later. Yeah. Right now, we're just want to show you, when you're buying directly from the source, that is the number one way to be sure that your cologne is authentic, right?
We can't open it because, see, look at the pretty little packaging. Thank you, sweetheart, for helping me.
It's got a nice sticker in this packaging here. So he's going to get the VIP experience, so to speak, and be able to open this and see everything, how it should come in this nice high-end box and things like that.
I bought the bag. The bag was actually a little extra money, but I bought the bag for him as well. But I wanted to show you something so sweet in those little notes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And there's one. Oh, yeah, here we go. So there's one really sweet touch that they did that makes it easy to spot an authentic fragrance. I got to write a little card to him, and it arrived in this beautiful little textured Louis Vuitton envelope sort of thing.
Really nice, high quality stuff.
High quality, really nice, thick. And it had 2 pieces in it. And the message that I had written, they wrote, I want to hold this as close as I can and as steady as I can. It says, can we see it? I'm grateful for you. Love, Mom. But there's an embossed right up here. It looks like a flower punched into this beautiful little card.
Amazing, the detail and quality. Yes, it is embossed. So all these little details you can just tell, you know, this is a 100% authentic piece because you bought it directly from the manufacturer.
Well, I bought it because I was buying it for Jake, and you know, I don't want to spend $150 on a fragrance that I'm going to get screwed on.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, that's just a waste of $150. I would rather, for this situation with my son, I'd rather buy it from the manufacturer just to be sure. But
absolutely,
hang on, because we're going to show you exactly what you guys need to look for when you're really trying to authenticate something.
Yeah. And of course, and even getting back to number 5, the source, okay, either directly from the manufacturer. Where are some other places that you can almost guarantee authenticity when you're buying fragrances?
High-end department stores.
Okay.
Yeah, like Bloomingdale's, Macy's.
Yeah, at the mall, in the department store, not the mall kiosk, right?
Right. No, not the pop-up shop that sells, you know, I don't know, baby whatever donuts next to it. It's like donuts, eyebrows, bam, there you go.
Then, yeah, so you know, you might want to be a little more careful if you're buying there, you know, take into consideration some of these factors that we're also going to show you, like number 4, the price. You know, now, is it unusually low? Are you getting like a ridiculous deal? Is it too good to be true? Then it probably is. Yeah. You know, when it comes to fragrances, because they are faked all the time. So beware.
They're becoming so popular with the kids. I cannot believe it. I can't. I mean, even my son is buying, you know, high-end perfume for his girlfriend. I mean, this is like so weird.
Well, hey,
not weird, just, you know, I feel
the
old.
Generation just loves to smell good, and there's plenty of fragrances out there, I guess.
Hey, I like a smell. You smell good, babe.
Oh, thanks.
You know, one of the reasons I love you.
Oh, thanks. I put on my favorite cologne before this, actually. Eternity by Calvin Klein. Since junior high, that's been my favorite.
Yeah. Classic fragrance.
It's been my favorite.
So back to price.
Yeah. You know, if it's just too good to be true, you know, I mean, sometimes there's going to be like a sale at a department store or a discount, you know,
but very rarely. Most of the time there are exclusions.
Yeah.
But there are, you know, cases of that.
Sure. You know, so, I mean, if that is the case, you know where, and then that comes down to the source. Where are you getting it from? Are you getting a sale on eBay, you know, from a seller with less than 100 feedback, or are you getting a sale at the department store?
Correct.
So keep that in mind. And so we'll go on to like sort of the meat and bones of this whole thing. We'd say number 3 set of questions to ask are about the packaging and the bottle.
Right.
So the first thing maybe you want to look at is, say, the tightly wrapped cellophane. Okay, so that's a pretty good indicator. Here are a couple of examples of some, you know, sort of higher end colognes here, and we see that the cellophane is nice and tightly wrapped. It's not like moving around in there.
Right.
You want to look for that. You want to make sure it's all symmetrical, and
like this part right here. Excuse me. The top of the triangle should be pretty tight on each side, and that shows you that it's sealed well.
Right. And, you know, if it's all like sort of like loose.
Yeah, like if you can popped up, or it looks like somebody stuck it like a adhesive on it.
Yeah. And, you know, if it just looks sort of shady, and it may very well be. So when you open this now and you look at the materials, like the cardboard, is it, you know, nice and high quality? Is it thick? Does it have like a texture? Is there the gold leaf, you know?
Yeah.
Now, ways that you can, you know, sort of check this is by just going to the mall. You know, go to JCPenney and look at the packaging. You know, is it raised, embossed? You know.
Yeah. The other thing too is look for incorrect spelling. Incorrect spelling. It's crazy. They're so good at making these fakes now. They really are.
Yeah, except, you know, once in a while, you know, they may have some sort of like grammatical error that says, okay, this is not perfect English. Or, you know, like you said, the spellings, you know, oops. You know, they're good at making the fakes, but they misspelled that word.
Yeah.
What about the fonts? You know, is that, you know, something
raised? That was a good point. The raised emboss on it, you could feel it. Same here.
Yeah, same on this one here.
Yeah, and the Louis Vuitton has that texture to it too. Same kind of thing.
Yeah, it really does. Just the envelope there has a really high end feel to it.
Yeah.
And the font, you can go on a website and the manufacturer's website to see if like the fonts are correct.
Yes.
Everything is just right.
Yes.
Another thing, when you're looking at the packaging, the UPC barcode, that pretty much has to be there for it to be authentic, and it's usually going to be on the bottom or the very back. So if it's like on the side somewhere or something, that might be a good indicator that it's not right.
Yeah, this one's on the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Now, see, that's a nice Versace cologne there.
Yeah.
And this one has like maybe a department store sticker on the bottom as well. So it's hard to see exactly what is on this here.
Well, I think Jake ordered this from eBay.
Okay.
I think he ordered it from eBay. Yeah.
Okay. So now when you're ordering from eBay, sometimes you may get it from a seller that certainly doesn't care as much as Versace would, and would send you in a nice box, with all these things. You may get it in a bubble mailer. So be careful, where you're buying this stuff from.
Yeah. We ordered one that was pretty knocked around. My son ordered it. It was pretty knocked around. But
yeah, the packaging was,
but it's kind of a girly thing. I mean, let's be straight up here for a second. Girls like pretty things in pretty packages lots of the time with cute bows, and it's all beautiful.
That's totally, you love.
It's a girly thing.
You love packaging.
I do. I'm a tomboy, but I love pretty packaging, and I feel like if I'm going to spend, $400 on a perfume, I want to open that box up, and I want it, I don't want it to. Yeah, I don't want to have like little bumps and on the edges of this one we haven't spoken about, like it's like smushed in, one of the corners got crunched, and there's like lines on the package like this. This was thrown into a poly mailer. It's not as high end of a fragrance. We looked it up because we were thinking about Jake. Right.
But still, it's a presentation, is everything, and this manufacturer would not have sent it in a bubble mailer. They would have protected it and got it to you looking nice and perfect.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind too. You sometimes you get what you pay for. Now another thing to look for on the packaging is a hologram sticker. Right here is a good example. It's it sort of moves
right here. Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah, when you do that, you can see it.
Yeah. So look for these little touches as well. I mean, yes, you could order something like this and try to have that faked as well, but the chances of it are look for little things like this as well.
Yeah, and there's another thing that you wanted to, may I point out the packaging?
Yeah, yes. So also when it comes to the packaging, you can sort of group the bottle in there too, the quality of the bottle, right? So is it clear? Is it cloudy glass?
Right.
Is it smooth? And is there bubbles? No, we have an example of this right here.
Thank you for that perfect intro. Yeah. So anyways, my son ordered this from eBay. Oh, look at that. There's a scratch on it.
Yeah, there is a
okay, let me take it out, guys. Okay, so it arrived in this box. This was the one somebody chucked it into a poly mailer, and the corners got bent, which was annoying because I don't know.
It's a gift, right?
Yeah, it's a gift. So, and then we got it, and we thought, oh, that's really pretty. This is nice. But if I looked a little bit closer, and you probably won't be able to see it, there's two marks here that looks like little cracks almost, like it was bent.
Okay.
Yeah, the inside of it was.
The packaging in here.
But in a weird spot, like in the middle, like there. Actually, I think that's one of them. But anyway, so I was like,
Yeah. So there's maybe one thing that was going to, and this is probably going to be very hard to see, but there are little bubbles in this glass. It is not an imperfect bottle. Like you can see a little mark. Yes,
there's
glistening.
one there. There's one there.
It's actually glistening in the light.
Yeah, you can see them.
Yeah, little bubbles there in the glass.
They're glistening in the night.
There, yeah, so you can actually see that.
They're drones. No kidding. They're glistening in the night. I'm sorry, I had to.
We're in New Jersey, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's also, we just noticed a scratch on the ball of the thing here.
Of the cap.
This is a $40 bottle of cologne. Okay.
Let's look at this one because it's not one of the.
Yeah. So
big ones.
yeah. So it's a $40 bottle of cologne. Would it even be faked? Really? I mean, is it worth faking? Wouldn't you, if you're gonna fake some cologne, wouldn't you want to fake a $200 bottle of cologne, right, or something?
But it could be irregular, and they could be selling irregular. The bottle scratched.
Okay.
This one's got
That's
bubbles
possible.
on it.
That's possible too.
Yeah, because some, yeah.
Okay. So no, that's a good point.
But it wasn't an experience. Like when you're buying a high-end fragrance, I don't know. Like I said,
yeah, you don't necessarily want the bubbles in the bottle and scratches on the lid and, dents in the packaging and stuff. That's, yeah. If it was a $200 bottle of cologne,
yeah, he would have kept it. He was like, I'll keep it. It's cool.
Yeah. So, well, those are just some examples of how to check the packaging.
How heavy the top is as well. My son taught me that. Feel it. If it feels nice and heavy, that goes along with the packaging. And,
Yep, you want
being
that
sturdy.
Nice, tightly fitting cap. And again, you can just go right to the mall department stores and physically grab a bottle of something that you know is authentic and compare it.
So how about the fragrance places at the mall? Do you guys, does anybody out there go to places like that to buy? A lot of people do. A lot of people do. And that's where it gets kind of shady for me. Right. And I wonder, I'm thinking, oh my goodness.
How do they have them at, such a good price or whatever?
Right.
So yeah, you do have to wonder. But with these tips here, you might be able to make a good choice while you're right there.
Yes.
Another thing, we're going to go now and jump into group number 2, which is scent quality and longevity.
Yeah, and that's important.
It really is. And so now that you've, got the package, home, you've inspected the packaging, you open it up and you smell it.
You get so excited.
Right. So, do you have a known authentic comparison? Did you go into a department store, 3 years ago and you're replacing this bottle and you have one to compare, the packaging, the scent, is it the same quality? So having a known comparison is a good way to go when it comes to scent. But if not,
you can go to the department store and go up to the Versace, I guess you would say, their little booth, and ask to have a sample of the high-end perfume. Now, they might charge you for that because these perfumes are, that perfume's just $495. So for $495, if I had to pay $30 for just a little sample of the high-end perfume at my department store, I would do it.
Yeah,
but these fragrance, and these fragrance, I don't usually just go here. You can have this free sample because I'd be in there with my pinhead. That little thing would last me for a year.
Hey, right. So maybe that's the smart thing to do too. If you can get a little $30 sample, why not?
I think that's the best way to go. But
give it a try. And if you like it, then buy the real thing. But
yeah, at the department stores always feel so much safer.
Yeah. So also when you're going with the scent quality, and look at the perfume itself, like the color consistency. Is it like a neon pink, when it's supposed to be fairly clear?
Is it a perfume or an eau de toilette?
Oh, yes. Which is, of course, the perfumes have a higher concentration of the oils and stuff that they use.
The perfume does.
Yep. The perfume and the eau de toilettes are, say, a little more watered down, I guess, basically. Though authentic.
You just get more wear out of the longevity out of the perfumes
and the authentic perfumes. Now, most cheap knockoffs are going to have, like a really, like the high notes, the top notes turn into base notes over time with a real perfume or cologne. They start off with that, just sort of high hit, and then they sort of like fade, a little bit over time, but they still smell really great.
They smell different on everyone's body. I can put this fragrance on and it will mix with my body. Says you smell someone wearing a fragrance and the other person smells different. But
it can be.
Mixing
really
with your scents.
Yeah. And so when they do sort of absorb into your skin, and then they do have sort of a different quality and a different scent, but that doesn't necessarily happen with cheap knockoff perfumes that are made synthetically or with chemicals. And a lot of times I can sort of, smell that, just like, whoa, is that a synthetic rose petal or a real, just like very, real rose petal, sort of thing.
I'm so sorry. And I'm not saying any names, but when I go to the mall and I go into, let's just say, these candle shops, and they also have like different body sprays and stuff you can use, and there's like amazing.
Mhm.
They all have that I'm sorry, scent.
Sort of chemically.
Yeah, they all kind of smell the same, and that weird, because there's no dimension to the scent. Right? There's the notes are all in your face, and they're all like vanilla, and you're like, oh shoot.
Right. Yeah. And it's maybe even some of them are sort of chemical. You can just tell that chemical, synthetic, versus, authentic essential oils and things like that. Right.
Yeah.
And so just, if you have a comparison that you can do, that's your best bet. And now we're going to go to our number one way to authenticate designer fragrance, and they should have these numbers right on the box.
Right on the box. Let's start with the Versace.
Okay. So they're going to have a control number. Now, again, there's a lot of numbers that are covered by this, say like vendor's barcode here. But everything is going to have a control number, a batch code, and a serial number. Now, anything that is authentic, you can go ahead to the manufacturer's website and verify all three of these numbers to make sure that you have something that's authentic. And that's just number one way to know,
Mm-hmm.
So again, the control number, a batch code, and a serial number and this is going to be different, of course, for every fragrance and websites. So you're going to have to do your research on that.
I've seen some actually that also have an expiration date.
Okay.
Not all of them, but I've noticed a few.
Yeah, the perfumes and clones, they have a sort of shelf life, so
I don't know how long. My mom used to wear Shalimar by Guerlain. They still make it, actually.
Okay.
And I just remember I'm going off on a tangent, but that's one of the great things about fragrances is that they're so nostalgic, right?
Oh my gosh, yes.
So I smell that, I think of my mom right away,
Mhm.
and you put that on, and if you've been wearing it your whole life, it takes you back to those days when you were doing your crazy inline skating, canoodle craziness you're doing.
And it's absolutely true. It brings me back to junior high almost. And just in any other fragrance, I would say I remember my mom wearing a couple different ones. I can't remember the name. Maybe she wore like Windsong or something too.
Remember Elizabeth? What is it? Elizabeth Taylor, White Diamond.
Oh yeah,
Remember the White Diamond? She's like, oh, and she's in the chair with these big.
I remember that commercial. Yes. Yeah.
It was great. I still remember it 3 decades later.
So nostalgic, scents, so they can bring it back to you. That's why people love these. And well, guys, we hope you had a good, informative thing here with us, and you can be able to tell, which ones are authentic.
Yeah, which ones are authentic, and let's just run through this list one more time real quick. So, top 5 things to peek at if you're just joining us. Mm-hmm. Go, babe.
Number 5, source. Where did you get it? Mm-hmm. Was it the mall department store or, a seller on eBay that didn't have a lot of reviews?
And number 4 is the price unusually low. That's kind of like a buyer beware. Is it too low? Some might, Yeah,
too good to be true. It probably is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So number 3 is the packaging and the bottle. Now that's where you have to do all your detective work, get out that magnifying glass, really ask some questions like, is there a hologram sticker? Is there tightly wrapped cellophane? Mm-hmm. Is the cardboard made of high quality materials?
Right.
What are some other things?
Number 2 is, or number 3. Did I miss one?
Oh, I'm sorry. Some other things like the fonts, misspellings. Is there grammar things?
Mm-hmm. And if they're embossed, the packages as well.
Yeah.
Number 2 is the refresher. It's the longevity. Is it a Perfume or eau de toilette? And what are the differences between the two?
Yes, and also, is it an authentic eau de toilette or perfume? Meaning, is it chemically smelling? You know, is it does it smell different later on, or did you just smell that one like blast of whoa?
I like that the word dimension when it comes to scent quality, because a really high-end fragrance has different dimensions to you. It's not just like pow, cinnamon, here we go.
Yeah, and then it changes over time.
Evolves. Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. And again, when it comes to that kind of things, you know, make sure it's the right color. And number 1 way to authenticate
is
check those numbers. The control number, the batch code, and the serial number should be on every authentic thing, and you can verify that at the manufacturer's website.
Yep. And that's it, guys.
Yeah, guys.
Oh, thanks for spending Wednesday night with us. And we hope that you guys have an incredible week. And if you have had any great experiences with places to buy fragrance and you want to share it, I'm sure a lot of people would love to find out any little secrets you might have. So.
Yeah, guys, drop some comments below, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to be notified, of course, when we put out some great content, which we love to do. We can't wait to get back to it again. Sorry for being ill for the past week.
I know.
I know. I just right there. I mean,
but we have consistent content released every week. So if you'd like to hang out with us a little bit more, just hit the bell and do whatever you need to do, because we're grateful for you.
Absolutely.
Bye, guys.
Take care, guys. See you next time.